Alright, so Miguel, so you were down here since when today? Like how long was it?
I arrived to City Hall around lunchtime.
That's when I wanted to show up. I wanted to show up at like 12:30.
Yeah.
So when were you in council chamber? Did you sort of go into the chamber and then out for a break or to see what was going on outside? So I kept wondering, I kept changing my channels at home from channel 10, which was showing the meeting inside, and then CP24 and CBC News to try to get an idea of what was going on outside City Hall and also in the rest of City Hall. But were you in and out of the chamber? Or?
No, not at all, because what happened is in one of the rare situations where the public really jam-packed the council chambers.
Yeah.
So I was lucky, fortunate to find a seat in the first row, so I didn't want to lose it. My favorite seat, right?
See, this is what happens when I go to council too.
Right.
And sometimes you get locked out and can't come back in.
Exactly too. So there's a room capacity maximum, so you have to respect it.
Yeah.
By airport. Anyhow, I saw the whole thing unfolding in front of my eyes, and you tell me what you want to hear.
Physical stuff went down at City Hall, but I mean, you were talking about it being packed down there, and I was wondering about that too. All day I was thinking in my head, boy, this meeting. And the question I was asking myself about this, I was like, is this going to be like a normal council meeting where it's open to the public, or is this going to be like a closed in-camera thing? And then when I realized, yeah, it's public, whoa, that must be packed. But then we saw what we don't usually see, which is we saw video on the news of people in the council chamber who aren't politicians and stuff like that, which is kind of like a no-no or whatever. It's like not something you usually see. And also, apparently, what was it, Rob Ford's or Doug Ford's driver? Following him around as he was like taunting people, but taking video, cell phone video of like while the meeting is going on.
I think that happens. That happens around 2:45 because there was a very tight moment where people couldn't make reasonable decisions in relation to a question. So the Councilman Anciata says, we're going to take 5 minutes break.
Yeah.
Because, we keep asking people not to heckle, not to interrupt, respect the court, the people's right to speak and listen, right?
So what kind of things were people yelling?
Oh, all kinds of obscenities.
Like, was it, okay, so...
See, what happened is
like really rude.
What happened is that we have 4 nations. For the first time ever, I saw members of the Fourth Nation coming to City Hall.
It's fun that this brought. I was sort of thinking this whole thing might bring, townies or downtowners and sort of suburbanites together somehow.
Yeah.
So they came down here.
They came down. People from Etobicoke and the people from East George and people from this area, and they were. Shouting. It was a shouting match because they were screaming and yelling, "Bully! You bully that! You bully this!"
Oh, like you're bullying Rob Ford or Rob Ford?
Yeah, democracy, giving a chance. He is innocent. People say, "No, you crazy." Blah, blah. Anyhow, so all hell broke loose when Rob Ford and his driver started to walk close to the benches where the gallery.
Yeah.
They call the gallery.
Yeah, the gallery, that's right. I keep forgetting what it's called.
He and his driver, the driver is holding the camera, and Warford is having a shouting match with the people in the middle section of the council chambers. Because he was saying that, you guys are from QP, you guys are from the special interest group.
Okay, So after I was talking with Miguel, we ran into somebody outside who also had something else to say about this one part of the saga. And apparently Rob Ford, he wasn't just heckling people back, he was actually pointing to people sitting in the gallery, members of the public who were sitting in the gallery, and saying, that one, like indicating specific people for his driver to take pictures of. So that's the other part of this.
anyhow,
It's funny. It's funny.
It is funny in a totally unnecessary and inappropriate for a city council of this level,
Well,
of
he
this
was
city.
he's like trying to heckle the hecklers, sort of, right?
Yeah. He's trying to attack him. He was doing that, and
But then also trying to get video of them, like trying to get his driver to get video of the people that he was.
yeah.
That's
Without
I
asking
mean,
permission, come on, ask me permission before you take my video, right?
Well, I thought that was one of the sort of things about the gallery is that you're there, it's like there's certain things about council chambers, like there's certain things you can hear on the video record, and there's certain things you can't, and there's certain things you can see, and there's certain things you can't, and there's certain things that only the people in there get to see, and there's rules about what you can film, and when you're in the gallery, you're supposed to be. It's not like no councillor could ever take a photo in council, but I mean, it makes me wonder, is that illegal? Did they break the law by, is this driver,
Well,
some sort of,
the attitude of the driver was very unusual. I never seen it before. And all this time I come to City Hall, this heckling went beyond what I can expect only of a council chamber from, let's say, the country of Taiwan. You've probably seen the people fighting in Taiwan.
I've seen. I mean, it's like it's like you see like only in Russia type of thing.
Yes,
or,
in other countries.
Yeah,
yes.
that's kind of,
they behave that way.
Yeah, viral video type of fodder, which this all is. It's put Toronto on the viral video map.
Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame, my friend. It is a real shame. Anyhow,
okay, well that's great though. It's nice to get the story of, because from at home, I don't know if there's going to be more video released to this from other people's perspectives or whatever. But from where I was at home, from where any like Torontonian or Canadian is likely to see this stuff, it was just like you didn't see any of that. You didn't see like Rob Ford heckling people, and there was a point where I was like, did Rob, because at a certain point in the meeting I watched him just walk out a door, and I was like, it's not really time for him to leave, like he's not supposed to leave unannounced and whatever, and then Nunziata was just sort of abruptly continued with the next thing, and I was like, where did Rob Ford go? And then that's when I think he came in from somewhere else and did that, because there was no, you didn't see that at home. I was watching the thing.
Yeah. The reaction was totally surprising. It caught everybody by surprise. And on top of that, Nunziata ordered to the whole crowd, to the public, to leave the city council.
When?
Yeah, probably, but like you say, there's some things that it's not part of the
rules of what you can do.
No. I mean, what probably wasn't catch by other media channels.
Yeah.
When she said those things, I think infuriated more the crowds. It infuriated. People got more upset. She said that when there were some matching right after the collision with Councilor McConnell.
Yeah, I mean, when that happened, how big was the reaction to that? Did the crowd kind of jump on him and be like, "You just bowled over"?
Yes.
So there was a big.
I think there was inches. I mean, there was just inches from people jumping off the council, the gallery, into the area where the councilors sit down.
Yeah, and we would have had one of those.
It could have happened.
Yeah, it would have been only in Canada type of
Yeah, because when they saw that the collision with Councilor McConnell, poor old lady who, probably she was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, I love McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
she's my councilor.
Oh, okay, really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's my councilor.
I love it. I've always had a soft spot for Councilor McConnell.
I asked
just because of the way she speaks and she's so no nonsense and stuff.
Yeah.
But run into Mamalidi or something, even Kelly would have been able to take a tackle like that a lot better than her. She went down, she's like, I don't know, I was thinking about my mom, It was
I understand.
And it's brutal, and just how when he sort of like bowled into her, and then realized like they were both kind of going down, and then never turned to look at her or anything, see if she was okay. Just sort of like came back up. He kept it. He was like a guy at a bar, pretending that she was one of his buddies who was restraining him or something from going into a fight.
Yeah. And keep going after the aggressor or
something like
he's
that.
trying to help his brother. That's what he said. I apologize because what I wanted to do is my brother was in the middle of an argument with another member for the crowd, and I want to help him, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So,
but then when he apologized, he couldn't even pronounce her name right. He had to be told like 3 times to personally apologize to her. And then he was like, "I'm sorry to anyone that I might have bowled over." I mean, it's kind of like if you go around and I don't know it's just like, I'm sorry to anyone that I like, as if he didn't. Like, he was just assuming that there was more people, that he didn't realize that he
I
pushed
just rely on the staff to pick her up. You know, leave me alone. I'm just going through.
That was brutal. Like when I was, I didn't watch it live from home, but when I saw that, I was like, I didn't know how I would have reacted if I was in the chamber, but I was thinking like, okay, if I was there and the crowd started getting loud, would I chime in? Would I start saying swear words? Like I was like, in my line, and it was like, no,
I'm really glad.
I wouldn't swear at it, but if I'd been there for that, I might have just ended up jumping up. Just having a Rob Ford moment myself.
Yes.
Like, you don't do that to an old lady.
Exactly. I believe it.
Anyway.
Anyway, it's over. It is over.
It's over.
Council decided to strip away his powers now.
Yeah.
He's a lame duck.
Check out those votes. I mean, when they were coming in, and it was like 33-3, or I don't know how many councils. Like, 3, and then you saw one that was like, most of them were 4. It was the one that was going the other way, and I could tell by watching how decisive the votes were that it was all in favor of.
It is also surprising that Councilor Mamalotti was absent from the vote.
Was he just one of the people who sort of got lost down here?
And then he returned after everything was over. He returned back to the chambers. Anyway, that's weird. Anyhow, it's one of those things that
I never
we don't
really
understand.
Know
we will never understand.
That's so. Are you going to watch The Daily Show tonight?
You bet.
I was trying to figure out when Rick Mercer is on. I don't know. Apparently he's going to do a rant about it.
Actually, tomorrow is going to be a nice video from 22 minutes coming up. Let's see what happens.
All right, well, let's go outside and enjoy the snow. It's snowing at City Hall.
Here we are at Toronto City Hall. It is happening live in Toronto City Hall.
It's been fun.
Thank you so much.